Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are fresh, good, and active. Happy Monday, guys. Happy freaking Monday. Namhlanje sisathu kungena direct Facebook because we are experiencing some technical problems, guys. Some issues with StreamYard. So sizongena la. Sinibingelele bafethu to everyone who's viewing. Siyanibingelela bafethu isixolise nangokungena late inkinga iningi bafethu inkinga iningi we have a lot of problems, that's why sivele sangena direct namhlanje la ku Facebook sithemba ukuthi abafethu isonto baliqale kahle. Let me just invite my guest here. All right, okay guys, namhlanje sikhuluma ngezepolitiki. Namhlanje ngiphethe my brother bathi uNhlanhla uBrian indoda yakaphewa. So I'm waiting for you guys to come in numbers. I can see you are tuning in. I'm waiting for you guys to tune in numbers. Don't forget to share. Guys. Don't forget to share. Share the live, guys. Okay, I can see Brian is here. Okay, join up, Brian. I think I did you. Join up, Bafo. Guys, it's been a tough week. Mr. Phewa.
Sanibonani.
Hey, khamba kahle.
Yeah, ake sithi hamba kahle ukukhala kusiza kwahlula imbuzi.
Ini ngathi uyangabaza nje ukuthi ukhamba kahle. Khamba kahle.
No, ngeke ukuthi umothi khamba kahle, it's a confirming statement.
Okay.
So kumele ube careful. Ube careful ukuthi khamba kahle ngempela yini.
Senzuleke bafethu ukuthi ngiphethe umuntu onjani namhlanje. Namhlanje sizokhala kakhulu. Ngiyathemba ukuthi uRamaphosa ngeke asifonela asibuze ukuthi senzani yini lesikhuluma ngayo. Ngoba niyamuza nalomuntu esizokhuluma naye ukuthi hayi useqalile useready. Bafethu ngoba iminingi imibuzo ngifuna ukudixabeza ngayo namhlanje, ngifuna ukukubuza yona nje. Deep, very deep questions concerning our topic today, Broken South Africa. We're going to have a conversational, a political conversation. Mina nawe ziningi izinto ekumele sikhulume and uma ukuthi futhi asiqede kushawa 10 asiqedile, we're going to need to come back for next week because ziningi izinto ezidlula kuzona as South Africans, but sithuli even noma singathuli, but we feel like we don't have power to raise the issues that we are facing in South Africa. But before I ask you some questions, mhlawumbe abalaleli noma ababukeli bazothanda ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi uba wena uqhamukaphi yini ngeke ngizokukhetha nje ukuthi uzokhuluma ngezinto zepolitiki bengakwazi. Awu-introduce-ke wendoda omfowethu.
Igama kahle mina nguNhlanhla Isibongo kaPhewa. Leka Brian angilazi ukuthi ulithathaphi. NguNhlanhla ngiyindoda nje esiphilelayo thanda ukuthi ibe nama intellectual conversations, ibe nama progressive conversations, and it all comes from ukuba nenkani. And you know, I'll be honest, now ngazi kanjalo. Ukuba nenkani ukuthi, you know what, we cannot have a sheep mentality. Ukuthi so hamba njengezimvu all the time. There are times where we need to question things. So I'm that kind of guy. So to everybody who's watching, that's the guy that's in front of you today.
Hayi siyabonga umfowethu kaPhewa Brian ngoba nangu umfowethu wakini la ukuthi hey indoda yakithi le. Mfowethu, okay. Hello Thembeka, I see you. Mfowethu, nayi imibuzo engifuna ukukubuza yona ke. ngifuna ukusiphilise namhlanje, ngifuna ukuthi sigoduke namhlanje, siphilile mfowethu, ngoba siphila ezweni elonakele kakhulu. South Africa is to me it's like it's the most corruptive country ever. I don't know about the other countries, but I feel South Africa, because it's something that it's something that I know, something that I see. So, maybe my first question would be, where do we come from as a country as far as political?
It is simple. We come from a background where the background that nobody wants to come from, of exclusion. And when I'm saying exclusion, I'm talking about economic exclusion, where certain people feel like they have a certain amount of power over the others, and so they do not deserve it. And believe it or not, even today, we still have those problems. So that's where we come from, and it's a place, it's a dark place. It's a place that you look at and you like, but why did things have to go that way? Why did they have to be that? You know, you end up with a lot of questions. I mean, you and I are the same age, and we were not born at those times, but we were like, we were not even there. But when you learn about it, and the problem is that the history that we come from, it still affects how some of the decisions are made, because the people that come from that time, they are still in charge as of today, and you know, their decision making is based on that, and which is totally wrong, because we are not there anymore. The result, I mean, if you fight, if manje kungena uSnako uyakhala uthi uyashawa estradini, and then when uyaphuma uyolwa okay azulula lolu daba ukuthi uyakhala, I don't believe ukuthi uxazululela ukuthi ngelinye ilanga uyophila ulivuse, uxazululela ukuthi there must be progress from that point on. You understand? So it's difficult. Everybody has a valid enough reason to act the way they act, due to the fact that we come from the history that we come from.
So when did this problem start? When or where did it begin?
It's entitlement. If you fight for something, if you fight to get something, immediately it belongs to you. You win that fight. So immediately it belongs to you. But now, the problem with entitlement is that it doesn't look at the other factors. Entitlement is going to be something that you look at yourself, you put yourself in the mirror, and you see yourself, and you see what you've been through, and you're like, I fought for this. This is what I deserve. You know, that's where our problems come from. At the end of the day, then what am I getting? And then you start making decisions based on self gains, self gain mentality. I want to gain this. I want to gain this, forgetting about the fact that you didn't do this for yourself in the first place. That is where all our problems started, when we jumped from being under apartheid, under the apartheid era, to being a democratic country. And then being in politics, we figure a monetary value. So politics, you've got access to a lot of things, got access to a lot of power, and the word power also comes with money. So you get access to those things. That is where our problem started. People started wanting to enrich themselves and their families and their kids, because I mean, at some point you look at it and you get to reason, because now let's make an example. Let's say, since you're working for Jordash Engineering,
Yeah.
right? At some point, if Jordash Engineering grows and then Usnako grows as well, you're gonna feel like Usnako or your other two kids, they deserve a space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where this whole thing comes from. It comes from the fact that we want, like you were fighting for the country. It may happen that at the time your heart and your mind was in the right place, but it all got misplaced as soon as you got into the position of power.
Yo.
And then, because now what happens is, if you've got power, you will not want your kids not to have power. Want to pass that power over. But now, how it is being passed over, that is wrong.
Yeah.
That's where our problems. That was the root cause of our.
Yo, that was very powerful. Inkinga, we all start good, but at the end of the day, into ivele ijike nje manje ngenxa yokuthi once we have power and then we start thinking different, we start thinking for ourselves, and then we forget ukuthi sonke lesikhathi besila besilela abantu, and then we ending up sesicabangela izingane zethu. So for you saying that, how can you define the leadership of South Africa?
It's not. I wouldn't say it's half bad, half good. If we were to put a percentage on it, I would say it is 20% good and 80% bad. I mean, ngike ngathi ngikhuluma nobaba wami kwamanye amalanga, ngikhuluma about the fact that the administration is failing us. Wathi ubaba wami, he got agitated, wavele wadinwa, wangitshela ukuthi mina ngangengilunge kule mpilo ababeyiphila, babekhahlelwa yibhuni, i-ANC yabasiza kabi ngoba ibhuni lalivele likusukele likhahle. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the mental effect of this whole thing, it goes as deep as, okay, I would rather not have somebody kicking me in the street, and that's the only thing I can take out of the word freedom. You understand?
Yeah.
But now you look at how black people were excluded from the economical activities that were happening in the country then. And you look at how the black administration is doing the exact same thing, and it's even worse because people are dying, and it's black people killing black people.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at what the apartheid government used to do to black people. I was saying the other day, you know, the white government gave everything to the white people.
Yeah.
And a little bit to the black. But the government is not giving anything to the black people and giving a little bit to the white people. You understand? So black people are actually not gaining anything. You just go and stand in parliament and tell the whole country, the whole world, as a president, that the country is ready for fourth industrial revolution.
Mm, mm,
If we look at the factors of that, uh, fourth industrial revolution has been there from the beginning of please call me, and from the time we moved from writing letters to writing messages.
yeah.
Messages. Fourth industrial revolution has been there. But what is the problem is that we want to put ourselves in a position of being equal to the countries that are well developed
Mm,
just because it benefits certain individuals. It goes back to what I was talking about.
yeah.
Because you look at Ramaphosa, he's, they say, I cannot confirm that because I don't have proof of that. But they say he's the major shareholder of McDonald's South Africa.
Mm,
If you go to McDonald's now, you will find a screen that says you must press to order
mm,
and choose your orders on the screen and pay, then do everything and go to collect.
mm,
Now you look at him introducing the fourth industrial revolution just because it benefits him in that way.
mm. Sure, sure.
So uh, 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 our administration is failing us,
Yeah.
especially us young people, because by now in South Africa we shouldn't be having people at our age that are still struggling to use a mere cell phone, how to operate certain things on a cell phone. But kuyenzeka lokho eSouth Africa kukhona. Why? Because we've got leaders, people who call themselves leaders, but they are all about self-enrichment.
Mm,
I'm not gonna. This is not me. I'm not. Okay. Let me put it this way. I'm not apologetic about the things that I'm saying,
yeah.
but I'm not trying to be all up in their faces, in people's faces, or people that support them. This is the situation. I'm just. This is a conversation where we're getting ideas
Yeah.
as to, as to what is going on.
Mm. Wow. This was very, very powerful enough. So judging of all these things happening and our leadership, how do the future looks like?
It's very bleak. It's very bleak. There's a lot of uncertainties
Mm,
when it when we look at, like, if I'm telling you now, if the current there's two things. If the current administration continues being in power and
mm,
they continue doing things the way that they are doing, or if the current administration is not voted out, we get the new one that is going to give fresh ideas, give fresh ways, have, like, because at the end of the day, you know, Uma wako at her age, there's nothing that Yena she's fighting for much. All she says, I'm praying for my kids.
yeah.
You understand? So the current administration has that problem. We've got people who are at the stage where they should be retired and praying for their kids, running the country with no innovative ideas on how to uplift this country
Mm,
whatsoever.
mm,
You understand? Uh, if if they stood on the sidelines and said, "No, guys, let us be advisors or whatever," you know, it would be acceptable because they know something about running a country. That is the fact. So we need, you can get information from such people, and it can be useful. but to stand in a position of decision making, that makes the future looks, you know, you cannot say anything for sure or be certain because the economy is doing very bad.
Mm.
It's doing very, very, very bad. You know, I was saying the other day that things are so bad in Africa that, especially in South Africa, they are so bad that we rely on an individual, not on economical activities that are happening in the country
Mm.
to determine
Individual.
how the yes to determine how the rand is doing.
Yo.
If Ramaphosa is not at the position where he's happy, the rating agencies they put the rand in an unhappy place.
Mm.
You understand?
Because it's
So
power.
you understand? That's not what we need, and that's not what these countries, the first world countries, that's not what they
Mm.
for their economies to survive. They need intellectuals to work in there and find innovative ways to make sure that they stay there.
Mm.
Somebody may speak and say, "No, I'm clueless. I do not know how rating agencies work." Fair enough. Teach me. But I'm telling you now, if Ramaphosa is not happy, the rand is not happy.
Mm.
If ujamnandazi manje, uyamazi ujamnandazi. If Pravin Gordhan is not happy,
Hey.
then the rand is not happy. So that's not, we do not need that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So are you convinced, Oguti, if maybe we can change the administration, they can come with change?
It'll have to depend who that is.
Mm.
It'll have to depend who that is. You cannot just put anyone. There's people that I know
Yeah.
for the position of the country's administration. They can, if they stepped in today, tomorrow the country will be gone. Um, will be like some other countries that are struggling. So it'll have to depend who that is. South Africans need to be very tactical when they think of making that decision. But it has to come.
Mm. Do you think it's possible ukuthi baphume labantu?
It is. It is. Remember,
Like how? Just last year,
remember,
everyone was angry. Everyone was angry last year. Said no what?
yeah.
Siyazi isikhathi sokuvota sobatshengisa. The very same people, we are seeing them sebegijima ngenyawo bagqoka izikipa zabo labantu futhi sebeyakhankasa bakhankasela labantu man, because before it used to be them, direct them, they used to take imoto eningi belandelana bekhankasa, and now the thing is different. The very same people ebesi angry nabo saying we won't vote for these people, lana basijwayele uRamaphosa somtshengisa, are the very same people asebesikhankasela thina manje. So mina bese I don't think labantu bazophuma. These people are here and they are here to stay. Yabo. They're going to, I'm sorry to use this word, but they're going to fuck up this world until South Africa is nothing. Until we depend on maybe on Nigeria. So we Nigeria no China, just like Jamaica. So under China Republic of South Africa. That's where we are going. I don't think these people they're going to move or be kicked out or vote out.
No, we need to remember something at this point. South Africans, I think, out of the whole of Africa, South Africans are the most educated when it comes to politics. It's just that the people, the majority of the people that are still voting for those are people with poor reason. But South Africa, when it comes to politics, South Africa has education because South Africans are given the right to know about politics.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible. People just need to, I was saying to one of my friends the other day, you know what? We need to start moving to a new direction. A direction where you look at your vote where you take your vote, you put a price on it. You say, my vote is worth 1 million. But that 1 million is your investment to whoever you put in position. And that person must match that 1 million.
Yeah.
You understand? So your vote and the politician's performance, they have to match. If they do not match, then they must ship out. That's the direction we need to take. Because if we do not do that, that means we do not understand what voting means. Voting means, like I was saying in the first place, voting means that you are giving somebody power. And that word power comes with money, access to money, a lot of money. You need somebody who's going to get to that money and think, hey, I'm doing this for these people. If you are given, you cannot be given 10 rand, Baba. Wena, untshontshe u-9 rand, ufuna unikeza abantu abawu-10, u-1 rand.
Yeah.
If unikezwa u-10 rand and you feel ukuthi there's a need to steal, wena kumele untshontshe u-1 rand and give abantu u-1 rand. I'm not condoning indaba yokuntshontsha, but that is the reality that comes with being next to money. Being next to money is an opportunity. But you need people who are saying, who are going to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yo, ngiyakuzwa Mfaka. So tell me, what do we stand to lose because of the current socio-economic crisis?
Everything. Everything. We stand to lose everything. Because as it stands now, our country is being run by foreign nations. More than half of those people, they don't have the right papers to be here. And what's funny is that we keep on screaming Africa for Africans. Every African is not a foreigner in Africa. But when you go there, you'll never even leave the airport in South Africa or cross the border where across my pet imali ukuthi uba-bribe. Ngoba bafuna i-passport, uma ungenayo fanele uba-bribe. But when I'm la, fanele kuthiwe open the border. Open the border for what? Now, i-PE manje iranwa ama-Somalians. They are burning taxes, doing all sorts of things. Because of the current administration. Yes, on Saturday, I was meeting with the other guys here in the city of Joburg. So we still saying to me, you know what, if Nigerians are going to come and say, oh, Nigeria gave money to South Africa during the times of apartheid, okay, nansi Lutuli House, la ANC, la khona abantu abathatha imali, na Lutuli House, amani uyifuna leyo mali lapho. At this point, we do not owe them because we haven't received anything significant due to the fact that the ANC is in power.
Yeah.
We've just been receiving promises. So umuntu othi South Africa was given money or whatever, go to Lutuli House, and see invoice code. Yeah.
Yo, namhlanje isikhala ngempela. So the relationship between politics and religion, who needs to be held accountable for creating this mess?
see, the thing is, I'm glad ukuthi ngikhuluma nawe umfundisi omkhulu ngendaba ye-religion
Yeah.
ne-politics. And I feel ukuthi ama-politicians, they know ukuthi the biggest numbers are in church.
Mm.
And what they do when it's time to vote, they go to churches bayocela imithandazo kanjani kanjani. Nangenhlanye ukuthi namuzi kalala uzongena lana esontweni lethu. Yabona?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, never votela. They don't come to the church and say, here's 1 million to the church and uplift youth like Sondwe. They don't do that. So abafundisi, they need to start being careful. Abafundisi, they need to teach young people about politics and how politics work. These conversations need to be held in church. Unless if umfundisi wakho or whoever is no powerful, who is member, administration, ANC, or whatever, then it's gonna be difficult because the narrative is the same. But abafundisi, if they are really honest, they need to start telling young people, especially young people, do not be played. They need to start rejecting these people from entering their churches. Ufuna ukuza esontweni, hayi ngena imali lapha yakwi-crowd like hleli khona abazalwane usonto now, and stop coming in uzosho ama-speeches. So abafundisi, they've got, I can say they need to be held accountable because wow, uthathekile. Yeah. Babona nje, angithi manje it's all about driving a Merc nomfundisi and match lifestyle yama-congregates are rich. So once abona i-politician uyazi ukuthi imali izongena.
Yeah. Yo. Vele weza nge-angle ebesingayinakile ngampela, because for you saying that, I'm starting like to realizing most of the things that relate to what you are saying. Enhlezi ngiyibona zenzeka, ngibona ukuthi yabona, for you mentioning it now, I'm just like observing all the things, like picking all the things that I've been observing when it comes to, or when it's close to ukuvotela, it's right ukuvotelwa ukuthi angikazi ukuyihlukanisa lezi, because I'm not even interested. Votela amakhansela, omeya, no president, anganokuthi zikhala, but every time makuzovotwa, they always does this. They come to our churches. Sijabule-ke nathi namakhanda amakhulu. Sijabule. Bani so afika akhuluma into ezinhle lapha, sijabule nathi sijabule. Mase sebevoteliwe ababuyi.
Oh yes, you need to come phela ngithi manje, you came to collect the prayer.
Yeah.
So the prayer is bearing fruits for you. So those fruits must be given back to the people that gave you the prayers.
Exactly.
And you're not doing it. So why are the pastors, the fundis, or whoever, the bishops, why do they keep doing this to their people?
Maybe
other fundis are the most listened to people emhlabeni. But they're not doing justice.
Yo, nani na izwela. Today, it's a very chilled session. It's a political conversation with my brother, Nhlanhla Brian Phewa. We are talking, if maybe there is something that you want to say, if there is a question that you want to ask, feel free to ask, feel free to put also your opinion or whatever it is that you want to say. It's not about us here, it's about every one of us as South African citizens. So speaking of fourth industrial revolution, the introduction of 4IR, do we think as a country or as Africa we are ready for it?
Not even next to being ready. We are too far from being ready. Earlier on I mentioned to you about the use of a cell phone. We
Yeah.
are not going to computers. We are not going to kunomuntu ovula i-Facebook account today ayisebenzise for the week
Eyi.
athi uyangena kuyona ilanga aloge out athi uyangena usekhohlwe i-password angangeni ku-forgot password akuhambe ovule i-Facebook account yini akekho
Yeah.
in line with how technology works.
Yeah.
And that is the fault. That is the fault here at ANC, because today, in this day and age, nobody should be failing because our gadgets should be there, should be provided for the people of South Africa. Instead, they are just mooring the money. They are just on top of it. By shy, ikola inama-computer. Kunekole ngeke sikhulume ngekhompyutha isikole esingenawo ama-toilet. I-police station ukhulume ngekhompyutha i-police station ayinalo i-toilet. Ngeke ukhulume ngekhompyutha kunesibhedlela njengamanje ese-Eastern Cape. I think it's Margaret Mncadi or something. One of the biggest in Eastern Cape sivaliwe because it couldn't operate anymore ngoba sasingenama-funds. So we can't even. The fourth industrial revolution nje, they must take naleyo nto leyo. Kumele bayibekele. We are not ready.
So the blame should be from the government.
Obviously, their kids, they know all these things. They go, they do. Ingane yenza ama-sports I6 E1. Ingane computer, ingane encane ungaphansi ngisho kwasinako. I-computer kuyakwazi ukuyisebenzisa properly. I-cellphone kuyakwazi ukuyisebenzisa properly. Thina sesizokuthi ezithi ingane sesizokuthi nathi sinawo ama-cellphone, sine-access to ezinto ekanje siyakwazi ukuthenga. But zona ezabo zikufunda nje esikoleni. Ngobani? Bathatha bayifake ey'koleni zabelungu because they failing to upgrade education system ye-public yabantu abamnyama. They are people.
Yo, as usasho njalo, I was seeing like I used to like umuntu wenza ama research, especially from China. It's China, Germany, Italy, UK, and USA. You see those countries, even public schools, they're way better than private schools, like South Africa. Public school.
No, what's funny? You know what's funny? What's funny is that there are billions that go missing every year from the government. Those billions they could have provided for that. Umuntu onjani othe okwazi ukuntshontsha kuthiwe kuna-1 trillion olahlekile ongazi ukuthi ushonephi. Kube kunesport manje esinganayo iy'ngane azinazo ngisho ukudla. Kunomuntu olala endlini ehamba amanzi ubhukuda mangabe kuney'khukhula. Kodwa ukwazi ukuthi kuthiwe kulahleke 1 trillion in one night.
Abanye benza ama-ground 150,000 bayenza ngo-15 million.
Exactly. Even 150,000 mningi kakhulu lapho. Mningi kakhulu. There was recycled material. Sebenza nge-steel mina now. That's recycled material.
Aye, go better. So if you can compare the apartheid white government and the current government,
I mentioned to you earlier, the white government did things for white people and gave the crumbs to black people. The black government does nothing for black people. They give a little something or even more to the white people. So you decide. I can give that to the public to decide.
Yeah.
Who's better? Why are black people not doing anything for black people?
Right. Good bad. Our leadership is very, very poor. Our leadership is selfish. Our leadership is heartless.
It comes with. It also comes. It also comes with. When somebody is getting old, kunale arrogance efikayo, because lo muntu is supposed to be on pension. Uba arrogant umuntu omdala in a way, because usekhulile, abe nenkani ebhedayo. Nabo fanele ngabe bahlele emakhaya banenkandle emakhaya noma iranile ama-private companies wabo. But they still want to be hogging the space that we as young people need to be using. We've got innovative ideas that are in line with today's lifestyle.
But do you think ukuthi bengahlala emakhaya babe nenkani emakhaya bebeke ukudla imali ngoba phela ziyakhala ngala emalini bayithatha ama-for.
No, Lendo, it's got a lot to do with greed before it's because Ramaphosa is a rich man through one political affiliation, but he's a rich man. Yini ifuna government ufuna ukuzokwenzana?
To push the agenda. I think we have lost Nhlanhla. I don't know what is happening. Okay, let me just wait a moment, guys, and see if Siawa's back. Okay. What a nice conversation, guys. What a nice conversation with this guy. People who are deep, very, very deep in this thing. Well, Tina, we are not deep into politics, guys, but even though we see things happening, we observe, we just look at the things the government are doing. It's good ukuthi sikhulume lezi zinto. It's good ukuthi sibe nawo ama-conversations as a politiki and come forth with solutions, because I believe ukuthi all this mess that is being created by our leaders and our politicians, guys, it's us that can fix it. Ukuthi nje sidlalela kude nazo lezi zinto because we are sick of them, we are angry. Ziyasicika because these people they are doing anyhow. But imagine us knowing our power that we have, knowing we can change the whole situation, but we're doing nothing about it. We are sleeping on it. So I believe it's a kind of such conversation will empower some of us, especially youth, maybe to stand up on these things, guys. Send us something about it, because if really and truly, if we are doing nothing about this Tina youth, then no one else, guys, will bring change. The situation will be very, very worse, because these people, guys, well, I don't think Brian is coming back. I don't seem to see him. But really, guys, we have spoken most of the things, most of the questions that I wanted to ask him. So I think we're going to end the live. Next week, we're going to do the very, very same thing. We're going to have the very, very similar or same conversation with my brother Nxewu. He was supposed to be here on the panel, so busy, and then also again network problems, and the platform that I'm using that enables me to bring more than one guest. I have to fix it so that next week Monday so guys, nibe nobusuku obuhle. Brada Nxewu uyanithanda ngapha, niqhubeke nibuke NK1 Show, guys. Every Mondays 9 o'clock ebusuku we are here. every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Opportunity Chat, and every Sunday, Revelation Time Show, 7 p.m.